apart from salary, what other benefits can you expect to see if you are working in one of the big four firms or any other audit firms in UK? So this is apart from salary, of course, and it's not a comprehensive list. I wanted to give you an overview of what kind of benefits are there working in UK. Each firm might not have the same benefits, but typically a lot of firms have common benefits as well. So let's deep dive into it. Before that, my name is Prem Kumar. I'm chartered accountant and CFA level 2 qualified. I'm working in Deloitte UK. It's been a while here working in UK. So getting back to topic, what kind of benefits? Number one, we talk about salary. That's the basic thing each company, each firm has to provide you. That's the base salary. So that's the basic one, and that's part of your employment contract. That's typically quoted into a certificate of sponsorship, and which is used for your visa purpose as well. I'm talking about people who are coming from abroad, but base salary is typically constant for everybody coming from abroad or locally hired. Now, don't just consider this video for the abroad person. Typically, anybody who works in UK is there in UK can also watch this, and it's equally applicable. So what other benefits you typically receive? Number second is the allowance, cash allowance. It's called. Typically, it can vary at a grade. You might get like 500,000, 5,000, depending on the grade, depending on the firm. But it's not a taxable allowance. It's basically a top up on your base salary, and different firms provide that, especially big four. Some smaller firms might not be providing that, but it's definitely part of some of the big four. Number three, bonus. Bonus is of course not guaranteed in most of the audit firms. It's performance based. It's dependent on the performance of the firm, performance of your business unit, and individual performance as well. But it can typically vary from like 3 to 4% to up to like 10-15% depending on firm, of course. And this of course taxable as well. Number four, a lot of firms in UK are providing private medical insurance, especially the big firms which have the ability and the financial capability to provide the benefit to the employees. So definitely a very good benefit considering a lot of strain on NHS and lack of availability of appointments. So number four benefit is the private medical insurance. That has the tax implication, and that depends on which firm you are in. Like some firms have the cover for yourself and your dependents, or some firms just give the cover for yourself and you have to pay for your dependents. At the same time, some firms have a limited private medical insurance and some firms have unlimited private medical insurance depending on the plan that they have chosen. Number five is leaves. Of course, leaves are a significant part of the package. They are not a monetary benefit, but they are beneficial in all ways. So we talk about number five. So the first kind of leave is sick leave. Sick leave is not part of your annual leave agreement or contract, which is what we are going to talk next. But sick leave can happen at any time, so it's not part of your actual contracted leaves. Number two, public holidays. Public holidays, there are 5 to 6 public holidays in UK in the year. Of course, those are not well, some firms basically have the policy where you can flex those public holidays. Basically, like let's say Deloitte, if you are not taking holiday on your public holiday date, you can take that holiday later with your actual annual leaves. Number three basically is annual leaves. There's a difference in different firms. Like some firms are giving 25 days worth of holidays, some firms are giving 28 days worth of holidays, but 25 is most common, and sometimes it increases with the grade as well. Like you are paid till 25 at AM, let's say, or senior associate, and then if you go to manager, senior manager, director, probably 28 days. So again, depending on grade or depending on the firm, there are leaves as well. There are other types of leaves as well, whereby I won't describe all of them in detail, but there are leaves for if your family, some of your family member is really sick or somebody is dead, then there are leaves to support that. There are leaves in terms of maternity or paternity. Each firm has its own policies, but everybody is definitely complying with the UK government regulations in terms of leaves. And then there are other leaves in terms of you can even purchase some additional holidays and sacrifice a part of your salary. So those things can be done. Right. Number 6, a lot of firms actually have portals, kind of agreement with different companies whereby you have the access to the discount portals, and the access basically helps you generate some cashback, get some offers. And I keep using that from Deloitte as well. There's a portal that we typically use to get cashbacks, and my last trip to Scotland, I was actually able to get some cashback just using the portal, using different sites like Expedia, TripAdvisor, etc. So you get the cashbacks, and it's really, really good. Number 7, pensions. How can I forget that? So pensions are probably 4 to 6% of your base salary. You contribute that amount to a fund. Your company also contributes the amount to the fund as well at the same time. So it's a defined contribution plan in most of the firms, and it's a mandatory requirement. You are automatically enrolled into that if when you join the firm, and you have the option to, of course, elect out of it, but I don't see any reason of electing out of it. Number 8, some firms actually give you holiday on your birthday as well. So if you are somebody who enjoys your birthday really well, who wants a holiday, there are some firms who do that as well. Number 9, some firms are actually giving food vouchers to help with the lunch expenses. So another benefit in kind. Number 10, relocation. If you are relocating from another country, I know firms who give 1 day holiday just for relocation, so you can set up. It's not just the day when you came in the UK. It's more like anything after like next few weeks. You want 1 day to get settled or collect your things or get something. So that's there, and firms do give well, let's talk about that in the next point, which is number 9. Firms give a lot of money, depend on the firm, of course, but when you're relocating, either you are being paid a handsome amount, which is like 1,500 to 2,000 pounds, typically covering your ticket and some of the bits that you have to spend for relocating, or firms reimburse basically your cost of employment, cost of visa, when you are paying your IHS surcharges, you are paying your visa fees, ticket cost, and IELTS fees, etc. So firms do typically reimburse that as well. Of course, smaller firms might not be doing that, but a lot of big firms do that part as well. Number 11 is basically benefits. So you can sacrifice part of your salary, and this may differ from firm to firm, but you can sacrifice part of your salary and get a benefit, which is basically using like bikes for work, or let's say some kind of other schemes which you find much cheaper because of the tax benefit of using the firms scheme. These schemes are quite common across a lot of firms. Like I mentioned bike for work, which is basically electric bike scheme. There are schemes like GP registration, which is more of electronic GP. You can have access all year round. You can sacrifice part of your salary to get that, but of course at the cheap rates. And then there are of course other benefits as well, like eye screening, etc. as well, which you might be having on your portal. Number 12, I hope my numbering is right. So on number 12 is basically you have the cover for critical medical insurance, as well as I guess emergency insurance, life insurance as well. So those insurance are typically covered by a lot of firms, and you have a good cover, like up to 4 or 5 times of your salary as well. Number 12 point is income protection. Not a lot of firms do that, but some firms actually have income protection for you. Basically, if you are unemployed, then income protection will be helping you in that case. Number 13, work-life balance. A lot of firms here are still quite flexible when it comes to work-life balance. They typically don't force. Disclaimer, depends on the team, depends on the firm, depends on the people you work with, but typically it's not a mandatory presence in office at all times. It's quite flexible still after COVID is gone. Number 14, subsidized food. A lot of firms have their in-house canteens, especially big offices or big firms. Like I know big four firms typically have their in-house canteen where you can buy lunch slightly cheaper than outside market as well. So again, something to save. Number 15 and the last point, it's not money related, but it's more of the career progression. The firms here give you career progression possibilities, opportunities, which you can develop further and advance in your own career. So it's quite different from other countries. Let's compare Middle East versus UK. There's a significant difference in terms of the approach to progression, and firms here are quite good in that, and really helps you step up your career once you're here. So this is just a summary. I won't say each firm will be offering all of these. You might get like 30% of these or 40% of these, but this common theme, a lot of firms have different things around. And if you're moving here, then something to check up in your in employment contract and see what benefits you're getting, and do they look reasonable. I hope this helps, and thanks so much for watching.